Hey YouTube, welcome back to Alongfortheride EV, and it's a beautiful sunny day, so we want to take the opportunity to do a video. It's been 14 days since I bought the vehicle, and that means it's December 24th, which means Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, depending on what you're celebrating. I hope you're ready to have a great day or a great holiday with family and friends, and it's filled with love and joy and peace and all that you need it to bring for the holiday season. As a teacher, I'm fortunate I get 2 weeks off and really get to kind of relax and decompress during all that time. But happy holidays, Merry Christmas. I hope you have a good one, and maybe Happy New Year. I don't know if we'll get a video done in the meantime, but again, beautiful sunny day. It's mild out here. I wanted to take the opportunity to do a video because in Ontario, it's hard to find some good daylight most days. So I thought we'd take the opportunity today to do a video on Apple CarPlay and what I'm missing from Apple CarPlay or not missing from Apple CarPlay at this point. So as you can see, I've got a mount here for my phone. Just got it. It was just something I wanted to try. I'm really interested in getting the Spigen or the Maybach phone mount, but I wanted to try this one. It was really on sale and got it given to me, so I'm going to try it and use it for a while. Not that I felt I needed it. I'm really enjoying the Tesla interface, but there are some things about Apple CarPlay that are different. I don't know if I'm missing them inside here or not, but I wanted to do just a quick little video on that. So I'm going to actually send a text right now and see if I can't get some messages to come through, just so you can kind of see one of the features that doesn't work. So I'm going to go into here to do a voice memo. Is that going to work? Hey guys, can you send me... No, let me try that a different way. It's probably because it's connected to the car. Hey guys, can you send me some texts in this group chat? Working on a video and need some texting to come through. Okay, so we'll leave that for now, see what happens. That is my group of pickle boys, the people we play pickleball with. So that's one thing. So first off, I was a big Apple Maps person. Now I gotta say that the Navigate system in here is excellent. I've really been enjoying the full self-driving. It's fantastic. I mean, I could do a whole another video on that, and I've actually been providing a bunch of feedback. So interesting enough, they actually extended my full self-driving another month. So I've got another free month of self-driving, and I think it's because I've been providing feedback. I live in a rural type area, so I've been finding that the speed limit changes haven't been picked up by the navigation system when you're on full self-drive. In some cases, they're a little bit late. In some cases, they don't happen at all. Interesting enough, some of the roads that we've been doing it on, I've noticed the roads don't actually have speed limit signs. So I'm sure it's not a speed limit sign that it's reading to figure out what the speed is on there, but it's definitely kind of interesting that that's the connection, but it's not adjusting well. So I've been providing that feedback, and that's been good. The one thing I don't like is that although all my contacts are in here, I can't navigate to somebody's house without typing in the address. So let's see if I can figure this out. I haven't done this a lot. Where are my contacts? So here's a bunch of phones. If I go into contacts, let me do this a little bit better. Let's go down to here we go, right here, my fellow YouTuber. Here's his address. Oh, there you go. So I just learned something new today. It is that simple. You just have to do it through the phone, I guess, and go to your contacts. So that is much better. I was trying to do it with a voice command and it didn't seem to work. So let's just see if we can do a voice command. Navigate to Jamie Rodriguez's home. Jamie Rodriguez, realtor, Grand Hope. That's not where we want to be. So that's not great. And that trip. Take me to Jamie Rodriguez's home. It's picking up Rodriguez. No, it's taking me to my home. So it doesn't work great on voice command. What I do find very interesting about voice command though, is even if it picks up the voice wrong and spells it wrong here, it calls or sends the text to the right person, which is kind of interesting. I found with Apple CarPlay in my F-150, if it got the name wrong or I didn't pronounce it correctly or how it thought it should be corrected, it didn't know who to send it to. Whereas here, it spelt my last name with a Y on it. And as long as it's close, it seems to pick up the person pretty easily. So I've just solved my problem. I go into phone, find the person I want to navigate to, hit the navigation button, and boom, it's there. And I could hit full self-drive and we would be in no problem. So that's fixed. So that's not a problem. So I'm loving the navigation system here. I'm really not missing anything else from Apple Maps, except for the fact that when you're in full self-drive, it's hard to convince the vehicle to go a different direction. You only ever get one option. So if we go back to doing this, even if I go to, let's get out of here and go to navigate and go to work, Oh, see, it's making a liar out of me in the front of this video. I can't believe this. There is my other option right there. I haven't seen that before, and maybe that's because I forced it to do different drives, but it doesn't do a good job of kind of letting you off. So when I come home, sometimes I'll want to take this exit here and this cutoff, and I try putting the signal light on in full self-drive, and unless you time it perfectly, it doesn't want to get off the road. It wants to stay where it is, and it does this kind of like fighting you back and forth. So I haven't quite figured that out, but I'm learning a lot as I'm doing this video. Who knows? I guess I just haven't played enough in it. So that's one thing. Not missing Apple Maps. So the one thing that is kind of interesting with Apple CarPlay is the messages and the text. So as you can see, I got a couple texts there in my chat, my group chat. Okay. So watch what happens when we go to messages here. So in here, I got a couple individual messages. And if I respond to these messages, Merry Christmas, hit the send button. I love the fact that it's so simple that way. This actually doesn't go back to the group chat, but it goes back to Lou Bellini specifically. So you can't talk within a group chat, which is kind of a problem when I have so many of those set up within my phone in terms of Apple texting. So that's a bit of an issue. I got a bunch of those the other day, and I was trying to figure out what was going on because they were all coming through individually. And I can't actually message Pickle Boys either. Text Pickle Boys. Nothing comes up. I love that you can just push this.
Thanks, buddy. Merry Christmas to you and your family.
I do love the message interface here. I just am disappointed that it doesn't connect to the groups. Unless, I guess, if I make that a contact, maybe. I don't know if that would help. What happens if I say, text the group Pickle Boys? It wants to send it to the Bow Shop, which is not at all where I wanted it to go. So that's a problem with Apple, and that's one of the devices or one of the features that I'm kind of missing with Apple CarPlay. The next one that I think I'm going to miss is the whole Spotify piece or music piece. I'm a radio guy. I don't mind listening to the radio. I got a couple stations that I like to listen to, and I like it because it's random and it doesn't just give you what you've selected. You'll be listening to the radio at one point and they'll throw in a song that you haven't heard in a long time, and it's really nice to just kind of hear that song once in a while, and maybe a song you don't think about. But I've been trying to get used to Spotify because we've moved away from Apple Music as a family, so I've gotten in on the Spotify thing, and I'm liking this Spotify interface on the screen. But this Spotify interface is available because I have premium connectivity right now. So for the first month, I have premium connectivity, which gives me this availability. If I didn't have this, I would have to do Spotify through Bluetooth. And I haven't actually looked at this yet in terms of what this would look like and how it would function. I'm not going to get into that during this video, but I'm sure that's going to look different. I don't know all the aspects yet of what premium connectivity gives me, but it's basically the internet connection for the car. So for $14 a month in Canada, I can subscribe to it and I can have internet on my car, is basically what they're telling me. So there's a couple things that it allows for that, Spotify being one, actually any of the media. Let me see if any of the media services. So if we go down here to audio and scroll down, any of these kind of things, right, is what it will give you. So Apple Podcasts, Apple Music. I'm not a big podcast listener. I tend to forget I'm listening and get halfway through the podcast and don't have any idea what they're talking about. Their TuneIn, and I haven't tried it, is I was looking for whether or not you could add apps to this in terms of Radio CarPlay or Radio, what's it called? Radio Player Canada, adding that to this. And you can't do that. Their TuneIn is apparently their Radio Player Canada, that kind of thing. So again, it would require Wi-Fi to do that. So I'm not sure if that's something I'm going to end up doing. We'll kind of see how it goes. I'm curious to see what will happen when I lose it. So that's what I'm going to do, is just kind of wait for it to lose. You can see here, actually, I don't know if I can zoom in with the GoPro or not on video, I'll edit that, but it's switching from LTE to Wi-Fi because it's connected to my home Wi-Fi, but it keeps blipping out back and forth. I don't think we have a very strong connection parked here in the driveway. I was going to pull it out over in front of the shop and do all my vehicle reviews there like we've been doing, but they've snow plowed a big drift in there and I wasn't willing to plow through it with Ruby, so that's why we're here. So Apple CarPlay, 3 things. Navigation, which is getting better just as we do this video. Number 2 is the music selection, that kind of thing, and whether or not we're going to lose it with premium connectivity or whether or not it will be fine just with Bluetoothing the phone to that. And then the third thing is messages. I love the message feature. It works well, except for the fact that we can't do group messaging. And I have quite a few of those actually set up for things like our pickleball group that we play with, the family and that sort of thing. So our family always connects through messages. So have to kind of figure that out, and whether or not it's about creating a group contact, which might be possible. I don't really know. I don't know if that's something you would have to do inside the Tesla. But otherwise, living with Apple CarPlay, pretty solid right now. Not missing it, like the navigation. There aren't a whole lot of apps that I find I use, and maybe that's the whole idea, right? The Tesla is a very simple vehicle inside. It has one screen, nothing on the dash, no buttons. I thought I was a button and knob kind of guy, but I'm loving the simplicity of this. And maybe it's that idea that we've given you what you need, and you don't really know what you don't need till you don't have it. There's enough on this steering wheel. And again, this steering wheel is really simple. I've gotten used to it, no problem. We've even had some fun with some updates and that kind of thing with the car. It now makes a transformer sound when I walk away and lock it, which is really cool. I actually thought about badging it with the Autobot symbols because I'm a big Transformer fan. I'm a big fan of Optimus Prime. So we've done some fun upgrades like that with it. But really the simplicity of everything is something I'm really enjoying. And I don't miss all the knobs and buttons and things like that that you need to change temperature. And I don't even change the temperature in here. And I don't know if it's the weather we've had, but the climate system in here set to auto just seems to do such a great job. I can't believe how clean the windshield stays. Really enjoying the vehicle. 14 days. And I can't complain. Charging is going fantastically, and it is super cheap. And I'm not even on my cheapest hydro plan. We'll be doing a video about that just to show you exactly what it's costing and what it would cost if I went to the low overnight rate here in Ontario. Hands down, really pleased with the decision I've made. I'm sure there's going to come a time, like I said, when I will miss the truck. But right now, driving this day after day has been such a pleasure. It is such a great machine to drive and just a very, very comfortable ride. It's smooth, it's quiet, it does everything it needs to do. And I'm having a ton of fun with full self-driving. It is so smart. It reacts so fantastically in all kinds of weather. I think more people, I almost think young people should learn how to drive a vehicle by being in a Tesla in full self-drive. It does the roundabouts perfectly every time. It signals properly inside the roundabout so people aren't getting confused. It stops for the 3 seconds at stop signs. It stops at the stop sign and then rolls ahead to check to make sure it can get through. Like, it does all that stuff. So it is textbook driving. At times it can be a little bit slow because you're stopping for 3 seconds at that stop sign. I'm waiting for somebody behind me to, kind of give me some rage or whatever because of that, because we don't often do that. It also has a personality. It definitely finds impatience at time, especially with a cutoff going to work. And I may have mentioned this in a previous video, but sometimes you can sit there for quite some time and wait for an opening to happen. And I remember I was sitting there, we had sat there for probably a good 5 minutes. It was that busy. And I saw an opening coming and I thought, okay, if I was driving, I would take that opening, I would hammer the gas and I would go. And I didn't say that out loud, but I'm sure the car thought the same thing, because as soon as that opening showed up, it gave her and went and took off, because it was like, I've sat here too long waiting for this opening. We're taking this opening and we are going. Again, just really, really impressed, really pleased with the vehicle. We'll talk more about how I feel about supporting Elon Musk and that kind of thing. The guy's a bit of an idiot, that's for sure. There's no question there. He says some things and has some opinions that I absolutely don't agree with, but you can't fault the product. The product itself is by far none superior to any other electric vehicle out there. If I had over $100,000 to spend on a vehicle, I probably would have bought a Rivian truck. That would have been my first choice. But for bang for buck in terms of what this vehicle costs, and the quality too, I don't know what people are talking about with quality. This is a high quality vehicle. It is well made. It's just, yeah, I don't have any complaints at all. So if you're thinking of Tesla, by all means, check out my other videos, stay subscribed and tune in. I'll be sharing everything I know about them and everything I learn, like today, learn right on the spot. That's what it's all about. And also use the referral code if you want. That'll give you 3 months of full self-driving. It'll give me a bit of a kickback. It'll give you the opportunity to really test it out and see what it's like. As always, Greg Sinti here, and thanks for coming along for the ride, Alongfortheride EV, that is. And I hope you're enjoying the sunshine like I am. I hope you have some. Have a great Christmas, a great holiday. Happy New Year if we don't talk to you before then. And see ya. This has been Greg Sinti, Alongfortheride EV.